Very much. Mr. Turner,
Yes, sir.
one of the things I hope that you'll realize is that this is a bipartisan committee. We represent different communities around the country, and I think government should never serve the party that is in power. Government should serve all Americans, no matter whether we vote for you or not. Your job is to stay out of the political lane and serve the American people. So for me, one of the most effective ways to serve people is to go where they are, not ask them to come into the bubble of this building. But we have to get out of our offices, so to speak, and go into the community. So one of my questions for you, and frankly, my first question for you is, will you commit to visiting communities as diverse as North Charleston and as different as Detroit in your first several months on the job? I think you need to see firsthand that Mr. Tillis has music he wants to play, but play that funky music. Anyways, I won't finish that. Anyways, I'll just say this, that I hope that you will go to Detroit, Michigan, and see the devastation and the sense of hopelessness that can be turned very quickly into hope. I want you to come to my hometown of North Charleston and take a tour of some of the impoverished areas and look at mixed development and remind people that we care about everybody. What do you say?
Yes, sir. I'm in agreement. I remember when I was appointed to do the Opportunity Zone job as the executive director, after I thanked the president for the appointment, I said, Mr. President, I'm not going to be here because I'm going to the streets where the people are. And went to over 70 cities in our country, visiting places like Tamaqua, Pennsylvania, visiting places like Birmingham, Alabama, Dallas, Texas, Liberty City, Miami. And so, yes, sir, that is a commitment from you, from me to you in this committee, that I will go to the people of America, visit the neighborhoods, visit the leaders, the servant leaders in our country to see, what is the problem that you're having and how can we work together to come up with sustainable solutions.
Thank you.
And I think that's very important.
Thank you. One of the challenges I think that we have is meeting the housing needs of our citizens. Frankly, I think Elizabeth and I both agree, is over 7 million needed units. I think a part of my Road to Housing Act suggests that the definition that we use for manufacturing needs to be updated. If we're going to meet the needs of the average person, I think improving the definition of manufactured home in the HUD code to remove the permanent chassis requirement is incredibly important. Do you support updating the HUD code to change the definition in manufacturing homes?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I know how important manufactured homes are when it comes to housing availability and housing affordability. And so to look at those codes and all the codes at HUD and take inventory and how we can reduce the burden and make it less cumbersome to build these houses, including manufactured housing, is a commitment I do give to you, sir.
Thank you. I said during my opening statement that the homelessness has increased by 30% since 2020.
Yes.
Devastating. Do you have specific thoughts in 30 seconds or so on how you would address the homelessness issue and start bringing it down some?
Yes, sir. So homelessness, I think that we need to engage local communities and organizations, faith-based organizations, institutions that have real results as it comes to combating homelessness. I think the federal government can be a great partner, but we do need to engage those that are on the local level that have great results as it pertains to homelessness and work with them.
I think the 50 Laboratories of Democracy gives us an opportunity to see what's working, what's not working. We should direct our attention towards those issues that are working. I had an opportunity to meet with some of my Democrat mayors in South Carolina, and one of the things that they were celebrating was the success of opportunity zones for the first time, bringing affordable housing back into their communities. And I've seen that in South Carolina, I've heard it in Maryland, I've heard it across our country, that this is one of the programs where my favorite mayors around the country, many of whom are Democrats, celebrate opportunity zones. Yeah. My favorite governors around the country, who are oftentimes Republicans, celebrate opportunity zones. Right. I'm not suggesting that we should celebrate opportunity zones, but I'm glad that they do. Can you speak to the benefit of opportunity zones, alleviating poverty and creating opportunities for everyday Americans?
Yes, sir.
In about 20 seconds.
Yes, I'll do my very best. Opportunity zones were very impactful. And if you look at the reports that we did while running the Opportunity Zone Council, you'll see 1 million people were lifted out of poverty housing went up for minority families, salaries went up for minority families. And so to give people an opportunity to invest in places that had not seen investment in many decades is great for our nation as it pertains to housing, affordable housing, and operating businesses.
Thank you very much.